When you're done, I'll just stand here so you can see, if you can see me.
Hey, Jim, can you see Keith?
Yeah, I think you can. How's your wrist, Jim? Yeah, I see it. Well, thank you for joining us anyway.
Well, it's better than me not coming, period.
Oh, I'm glad you came.
Thank you.
Glad you're here, Jim.
Well, thank
Can you
you.
hear?
Yep.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Jim, I'm gonna eat your donut, just so you know.
I think we got a lot of that little confusion on. We got some donuts, they wouldn't post.
Hey, Jim, don't worry, I'm gonna eat your donut.
Well, it's a little hard because I only got one hand to eat with, and it's
Well, don't worry, I'll eat your donut for you.
okay.
That's inside, right? Yeah, you know, like, I guess. I think we're all good, so, just, your prayers would be good. No, give me a heads up, then that'll work, go from there, but thanks for coming. Oh my God, what am I making lengths here? Did you, prepare something to say for your post? No. Okay, that's good. That's good. I've been practicing. So we can have. Okay, good enough. Something you know so much about your now. Well, just wanna highlight, you like that kind of stuff. Yeah. No. No, so that'll make you. No, I'm glad I made it. I didn't do well with the roll. Right. Well, not this way, I see. Shelby sucked. Well, I could let one of us, from the league, and then it got better. Yeah, once I got past. Yeah, that's no packing on. I see the passes. Yeah. Now it's. Oh, great. That's what you mean. Yeah. Different in yet? Right now. Wing it as we go. It is. Hey, you got your. I'm on your. Oh, thank. Good morning. Wow. You know, I was in an environment, you were really cold. Yes. Yes. Being up here, moving, how long is it? Yes. I've got a lesson about 20 years. Yeah. Well, yes, it's a little bit of crops. I was not sure it's not a little better. Treat you want, just my understanding. I just look at the market books. It's weird for being offered. That's the kind of thing. You should go to the natural military on tar. Shadow and emotion. Okay. How do you put a gas? Right, I'm for my workers today.
You doing all right, Jim?
Well, this cast is a little bit more comfortable than the last one, but it still kept me up a little bit last night.
That's what I said. I thought I said adjutant for a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Give it to the right person.
Arm's doing all right though?
Well, hanging in there. Can't drive.
I bet it makes scratching your butt hard though.
Well, I still got the left hand.
You still got the other one, right?
When I broke this finger, I had to do the left hand.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, it's good to see you.
I'm sorry.
All the way up in Canada.
Is that Ian?
Yeah.
What's your excuse today?
Well.
And your point being?
Well, I can't drive.
What? That's Fun for me to do when I come up there?
What's that? You're frozen.
Fun.
You're frozen. Oh, well,
Hear me?
I can hear you, but, oh, there you go. That's better.
There you go.
There you go.
So,
So that light is right in your face.
is that better?
There you go.
Now you can almost see me.
Yeah, I can see you now.
I set it up.
How many people you got there?
Say again.
How many people have you got there?
Right now I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's about 12 of us here, not counting you.
All right, I can count for two.
Okay, there'll be a roll call.
So,
Canada will be online.
but
Yeah, and
I better run here for a second because Wayne's got me busy, okay?
Okie dokie.
You're looking good.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I said, when you get a plan, I'll check on it. You sure about that one, do that? I'll see if we can have, right here.
You know, I've been here about it, it was up, but just with the,
Okay. If you want to, or do you want to?
so I asked, the question is, we got all about right here, start. There's a very long time here.
Right, that's always good.
Yeah.
Very loud for you.
You guys know in your area?
I was surprised.
Why is it?
But you had.
I'll start with some red and so.
Friday night, great balls.
To read and, okay, I might just have you stand and read it here, because we got so many chords.
Snow everywhere.
And Rob, I'll have you just kind of go around there when we're ready. Around that side, just got so many chords there. What do you want me to do, sir? When, I'll say. I'll just shoot them. Huh? Yeah. And then I'll say. Yeah.
Good job, good job.
You let me hire your role.
Yeah. So I'll set out every audit, but then I heard that.
How are you? How you doing with Dennis?
Well, that want to do that? Yeah. Figured you would. Let's see here. What you need.
And. So that's. Box card, it's like.
Right.
Children.
Boxcar is 75 years old. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I thought it. So we went to.
And then.
That sits in Helena. We have one of them.
Where you got it?
43. I also signed.
They'll have the boxcar raffle for dollars.
Right. That's okay. On my first time.
Yeah.
That's you. I was surprised at what you.
Can I introduce you to any of it?
I do not like others. We're gonna give a 5-minute warning. Hey. Yeah. I drove that. Yeah.
Morning. Morning, how's it going? See you next time.
Well, I couldn't have that. Oh, you couldn't.
You did, you bet.
I said it's. Would you? I got you. There we don't, your own patience. Yeah.
The jack with your oil Johnson sign, you know, one got her, said, this is really, don't go or do it, any place, something about it. Yeah. And what,
Pins. Well, the nurses all should ask to renew. Okay.
I'm not sure something.
This one.
And I've heard no conversation.
Right. You would you like?
Spanish talking about vehicles. Okay, you're well,
Doing good. Running for,
just put it out.
season.
For everyone.
I know, I can go get a look at it, so yeah, I don't see it. So that's a little bit. Right there, and then move over to this field.
That's all you can go to, right? You stay there? Are you gonna stay there?
Yes.
Yeah. Just never do my jacket down, then turn. Okay, Brian. All right, I'll go. So.
Hey, you're much out of it.
It's much more for it. Much as I can get.
Well, the hat was free, so
Oh.
I think the glasses are probably the most expensive.
All right.
I'll take $200 for the glasses.
There you go.
Did he?
Yes.
That's what I got there.
They look like
Did you get my material I sent you? I'm hoping that'll help you, Jim. We'll see how it works.
Well, we had one member sign up for 3 years and he saved
Uh-huh.
$15
Yeah,
and nobody else has taken advantage of it yet, but the word's out there.
yeah. So, well, thank you for doing that. And it just makes it easier to email stuff to you back and forth, so that works good.
Yeah,
That's not there, right?
We're gonna probably start in about a couple minutes, Jim.
hey, I'm in here waiting.
I know you are. How, do you feel okay, or is it hurt quite a bit?
A little bit, not as much as it did last week. I got a new cast, the red one. And
Yeah,
it's fiberglass, so it's lighter and well, it still hurts a little bit when I'm around the brakes. And yesterday I bent it back too far and it hurt quite a bit. The bad thing is I can't drive.
I'll nominate you.
yeah.
I'll nominate you.
Come on, let's count on you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's like your picture, I'll read you, that man, you're the one with no, because you're not saying very false, so they need. You get what I'm saying?
Please stand. Colors in place and salute. 2. Please uncover and place your cap over your heart. Chaplain will now offer a prayer.
Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, for all the members of the Legion that have gathered here today to support for our veterans and for their families around us. We thank you for the weather that we've gotten, for the moisture. Please bless all those who cannot be here today to watch over our brothers and sisters in arms overseas and here. Watch over their families and keep them safe and in your heart and prayer. In Jesus' name, we pray for these blessings. Amen.
Amen. A POW MIA empty chair is placed at all official meetings of the American Legion as a physical symbol of the thousands of American POW MIAs still unaccounted for from all wars and conflicts involving the United States of America. This is a reminder for all of us to spare no effort to secure the release of any American prisoner from captivity, the repatriation of the remains of those who died bravely in the defense of liberty, and a full accounting of those missing. Let us rededicate ourselves for this vital endeavor. Please place the MIA POW flag. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please recover. The preamble is on the screen behind me or on the back of your bulletin if you prefer. Please join me in reciting the preamble. For God and country, we associate ourselves together for the following purposes: to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, to maintain law and order, to foster and perpetuate a 100% Americanism, to preserve the memories and incidents of our associations in all wars, to inculcate a sense of individual obligation to the community, state, and nation, to combat the autocracy of both the masses and the classes, to make right the master might, to promote peace and goodwill on earth, to safeguard and transmit to posterity the principles of justice, freedom, and democracy, to consecrate and sanctify our comradeship by the devotion to mutual helpfulness. I now declare this district spring conference regularly convened. Hey, Rob.
Help, who says? She just had that, the next year.
We will now call the roll. Post 36, Valier has 4. Post 37, Conrad. 2. Post 40, Cutbank. Cutbank has 0. Post 43, Shelby. Shelby has 0 right now. Post 69, Galata. Galata has 0 right now. Post 73, Sweetgrass.
Command Commander, post 73 has 3.
Thank you. CN20, Calgary.
1.
CN20, Calgary has 1. Post 127, Browning. Browning has 0. We need 3 posts for a quorum, and we have a quorum. The minutes of the previous meeting will now be read. Yes, everything.
The 2023 district fall meeting was called, was held in Conrad on October 15, 2023. The meeting was called to order at 09:12 by District Commander Keith Stark, followed by a prayer, placing the MIA or POW MIA flag on the chair, the pledge of allegiance, and the reciting of the preamble. A roll call was held with the following result. Valier, post 36-3, Conrad, post 37-2, Cut Bank, post 40-0, Calgary, CN20-1 via Zoom, Shelby, post 43-0, Galata, post 69-1, Sweetgrass, post 73-2, Browning, post 127-0. We have a quorum. The minutes of the previous meeting were read by the acting adjutant and was approved as read. Following reports were given by the commander, finance. The finance committee report is attached to these minutes. They reported $1,082.11 in total resources. A new assessment will go out in February. It was then moved to accept the financial report subject to future audits. The motion passed. Membership reported the district is a 66.25%. Old business, the amendment to allow the meeting coverage via Zoom was read by Commander Stark. The vote was called for with Dusty Bailey making the motion and Galata seconding. The motion passed. A recommendation to allow district commanders to facilitate meetings made previously with no opposition. Commander Stark or Keith went over the previous challenges of organizing district meetings, and the current method is working out well. Commander Keith also talked about the following: the need of a post-constitution and bylaws and holding timely officer elections. We also recommended the use of My Legion and the need to fill out and submit all reports requested by department in a timely manner. He then gave a very interesting and informative talk about Emmett Ryan, his history, and Lear Post being named for him. There being no further business to come before the district, with the charge being placed in hand salute, the meeting closed at 10:12. Following the district meeting, the Department of Montana gave several presentations of interest. I hope I'm saying your last name right. Larry Dodd with the National Executive Committee reminded all to file their 990 and make sure their nonprofit status is in order. He mentioned the need possible for insurance for directors of corporations. There will be dues increase in each of $5. Andy Rice, North Central Zone Commander, spoke of the need for more visibility in the public, county fair booths, raffles, cash calendars, etc. He also promoted the Sons of the Legions as something we should promote. Candy Hearing, the service officer from Great Falls, went over to PACT Act, saying that they have added staff to help with over 1 million claims submitted. She went over the problems with travel pay. Doesn't look like it's going to get any better. Department Adjutant Dwayne Cunningham spoke on membership legislation, the national convention, saying that there were 35 Montanas from Montana in attendance. He reminded everyone of the $5 due increase going into effect in 2025. The 2025 department convention will be in Glasgow. He stressed the need for buddy checks and encouraged everyone to do that. The meeting was closed at 12:55, followed by a dinner served by Peggy Young of the Moose. The next district meeting is tentatively planned to be held in Conrad. Date to be determined. Respectfully submitted, Brad Huffman, acting adjutant.
Are there any corrections to the minutes? I would now will entertain a motion to approve the minute.
I'll make a motion.
Dusty makes a motion.
Don't tell me to make the motion, that we accept the minute as read.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, and 10:20 made a second. I'll catch you next time. It has been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the last meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed said no. The motion is carried. It was unanimous, John. Okay, go ahead, Rob.
Which one, red or
That'd be the right,
this one?
yeah, and one more. And the backup one, I'm sorry.
This right?
Yeah. Old business. In the minutes, I was gonna touch on, the Constitution and bylaws have been updated to include video conferencing or basically Zoom meetings. If anybody, would like an updated copy, let me know and I'll email you one. Constitution and bylaws were also mentioned in the minutes. I personally would not know how to effectively operate a post without one, so I'm a very strong advocate of having one and stress the importance of it. Is there any other old business somebody would like to review? Next slide, Ron.
One more.
And one more. Thank you. We have filed with the state as a nonprofit corporation with officers Dusty Bailey, president, Keith Stark, secretary, and Tim Dubay as finance officers, and they're listed on that form there. Next slide, Rob. One of the requirements of a corporation is we're supposed to take minutes and have at least one meeting. And this was the meeting we had on April 1st. Meeting called to order by President Dustin Bailey. Also present were Secretary Treasurer Keith Stark and Finance Officer Tim Duvay. We reviewed bank statements, bank ledger, financial statement summary, and current and past district capital assessments. No irregularities were found. We also went over preparation for the upcoming district spring meeting. There was no further business and the meeting was adjourned. And I am the secretary there and I sign it. Okay, next slide, Ron. Okay, this is the period I'm using from March 1st, 2023 to March 31st, 2024. Beginning checking on your upper left or upper right, left and yours is $683.98. Beginning savings was $152.19. Checking income per capita assessment for that period was $292. For meetings, 2 meetings of revenue was $400. Our current revenue is $692. Expenditures or the checking expense on your right. Dinner was $240. That was the expense for that period. So we continue with current revenue. We take away our expenditures of $240. That leaves us with a net income of $452. For savings, we drew 44 cents of interest income. And we've talked about it at previous meetings for about 3 of them. So we have closed the check savings and transferred that amount to checking. So that leaves us with an ending balance, checking balance of $1,288.61. Next slide, Rob. And one more slide, Rob. These reports are records of the past 3 years of district dues assessments. I'm really happy with the support we've gotten from the post and paying their per capita assessments. We had kind of a tragic, well, it definitely was a tragic death of previous finance officer. And it's taken a little bit to catch up, but everybody is current now pretty well. And I certainly appreciate the support on that. So let's go to the next slide then. Are there any questions on the financial report? You make a motion. Could I have a motion to receive the financial report subject to future office audit? And Rob Christians will make a meeting.
I'll make a motion, we check that.
Okay, can I have a second?
Second,
I'll second it.
Okay,
73.
yeah, Larry Tooley will second. It has been moved and seconded to receive and file the financial report subject to future audit. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. It's unanimous. The ayes have it. Motion is adopted. Next slide. This is the post the consolidated post report. I'm shooting to try to get everyone all the post completing this form by the end of this meeting as much as can be. I had a list that we were short quite a few here, and I'm not going to go through them, but you know who it is. I think quite a few of them here, but get them turned in, please. They're the same basic form that there always is. The top square, the Department of Montana, the post number, district number. The membership is easy to get. If you don't have it, I have it. Your city and state. You X what you're doing, and then you basically sign it at the bottom. There's a national copy and a department copy. That was an older example, but it's an easy form to fill out, and they're the same every year. So it'd be really handy to get that in. I get they really want that form. Next slide. This is the certification of officers form. It's really easy again. You put at the very top, you got post name and number. You got day and time of post meetings and your dues that is coming up here. Just fill in your commander and post adjutant. If you don't have enough officers, put in your post adjutant mainly. If you don't know some of the information, I'm sure we can get it, but try to get this form filled out. It's really important. The next slide. At the bottom of that form, the adjutant signs it, and it's basically that. It's a really easy form to fill out, and every year we get them, and we're really low on compliance on these two forms, so we need to get these forms in. The certification of officers is additionally important because post adjutants and commanders won't be certified to be able to use my Legion, among other important things. It's really important. I don't have a copy of the post data form in front of me up on the screen, but we've had real good compliance on this, and I've got one more today. So we're only short 2 on this. So this one is really timely. I think they wanted that one back minimum of April 15th. So and everyone knows what the post data is. Dues are going up, $5. It's gotta be, reflected on that form, what you're gonna do. It's gotta have, addresses so they know where to mail that stuff out to. It's just really important and it has to be timely. So April 15th is kind of a drop dead date on that. So please, please, please get those forms in. Is there any questions on that? Okay, next slide. This form you haven't gotten yet, but it is a really important form too. To go to convention, you gotta have a list of your delegates. I haven't got what each post is authorized yet, but I will be getting it. Basically, you list your post town and post number at the top. You name your delegates, whatever you're allowed. If you want a committee, you can put it there. And your post adjutant signs it. It's basically registering to vote for convention. And like I said, you haven't got it yet, but this is critical for convention because it causes a lot of grief if you haven't done this. Go ahead and put one more. MyLegion.org, I am I think this is really important. Go ahead and go to the next. I would like every post adjutant and commander to seriously consider using MyLegion. For this illustration, simply type in mylegion.org into your favorite search engine, or if you will, your Google box, and hit return. This homepage will come up. If you drag your mouse over the pointer over the help button, you'll see this drop down menu. If you look down, there's about 3 places down. It says how to use mylegion.org. For this illustration coming up, I picked registering just to show you how simple this is. It is a really well-written help menu, and it's been around for quite a few years now, so there's not many bugs in this program. It is really easy. Go ahead and go to the next slide. Okay, like I said, this one I was going to use as a registering example, but I'm not going to read the whole thing, but there's 3 pages. It just shows you how easy this is. If you print out these 3 pages, go ahead and go to the next one, Ron. Probably one more, Ron. It is just really easy. And basically, if it do what it said, you will be a user of MyLegion, and it should be 5 minutes to do that. You know, by the time you get an email back, so with your temporary password and then creating your own. It's a really, really simple process. And then to process dues, for example, and I didn't use that example. I'm not listing it on the screen, but it's the same thing. You go over your help menu on that MyLegion, and it takes you word for word how to go through it. It is very simple. Many posts still fill out cards, write a check, address envelopes, add postage, go to the mailbox and mail it in. If you use MyLegion, you do a couple clicks, you are done. No postage, no envelopes, no hassle. In addition, you have a lot of informative reports at your fingertips. If you need any help with this, I will be very happy to help you. All you have to do is ask me. Go ahead and do the next one. And that's what I just read. Okay, next one. Okay, go ahead and do one more, Rob. I am very proud of the post in District 3. You are currently number one in the district, in the state for membership percentage. Your hard work shows, and I hope you feel good and proud, as you should. These are very good. We are number one in the state for percentage. There's 11 districts. This is a big state. Congratulations on that. Let's do one more slide. I emailed leadership out this form talking about multi-year, 3-year renewal for a credit card, giving you this option is offered by National to avoid a dues increase, and you get that chance so your dues don't go up for 3 years. You simply click on the link at the top of the page, enter your membership ID and last name, click submit. And that's, I just screenshot that and put that on the top of that screen up there. The next menu, which I didn't put up on the screen, is your personal information. You check over. You check everything on that, and then you find a place to continue and you click and go on to that. The next page I did put up, which is basically it's giving you kind of a summary. And in my example, I checked the box that says in future, email me future email dues notices, membership notices. Then you click pay now, which is on the bottom corner. And it'll bring up your credit card page, which is a standard credit card page. And most everybody is familiar with that. I didn't bring that as an illustration, but it's a fairly simple thing to complete. And finally, you highlight, right-click your receipt for your own information. I've had a couple do this. It's 5 minutes, if you so choose. If you will notice, there's a $105 example in this slide. I use me as an example. Different posts may have different dues amounts here, depending on their current dues. And like I said, I've emailed it out to post leadership in our district. Is there any question on that? Go ahead to the next page. Nominating committee. Okay, one more page. Our district elections are held on odd years, and my term will end in June of next year. I have asked Dusty Bailey to chair the nominating committee. We need a vice commander and to fulfill our constitution and bylaw requirements. It is a great honor and privilege to represent the posts in this district. And I truly mean that. District commanders serve as a vital conduit between zone and department. They also play an important role as a member of the department executive committee and are time to time asked to study and vote on things before us. We need to attend department conventions. Most of those conventions do everything they possibly can do to make their experience enjoyable and family friendly. We even get mileage for attending. If there is a new commander, vice commander candidate, who has not previously been a district commander and is willing to attend the next couple of conventions, I will donate my mileage to that person. As a member of the district finance committee, I would ask the committee to look at any reasonable request to defray possible out-of-pocket expenses for that person. It is vital that we fill these district officer positions. I'm gonna add a couple, I'll just hold on a minute there. I'm trying to do everything I can to make it easier for the next district commander. That is why I am pushing things like My Legion. Everything I do and post constitution and bylaws. I really strongly believe in individual post responsibility, and I stress that a lot. If posts do that what is required, and My Legion helps you do that, it is really an important tool. Then there's a lot less bureaucracy between us. It seems silly for me to continually send out membership reports when it is at your fingertips with My Legion. The 3 reports I'm asking to be turned in by the end of this meeting are the same reports that have been mailed out annually for a very long time. All these things really help. And it's all boils down to individual post responsibility and taking pride in that. Okay, next page. And next page. Please work with your school to find delegates for this important program. I have 5 junior boys in our school this year, so I am able to mail each a personal letter. One of my greatest obstacles for getting delegates is the competition with other camps and activities. I know we have a couple of pictures on department webpage, but it would be really nice if there was a well-produced video or something like it so students can better see what the program is about. Something to generate excitement and give those of us in the American Legion better tools to promote the program. I know tentative dates were given earlier, but we need definitive dates soon. Is there any other new business someone would like to bring up for the meeting? I want to highlight, this is something I wanted to do as a district commander, a post at each district meeting. Dusty Bailey will talk about his post right now.
Thank you, Commander Stark. Good morning.
Good morning.
I've been doing this for almost 25 years now, starting. We used to have a lot of people here. Used to be, young, bright. You guys look like you're ready to fall asleep. As Keys was pointing out, everything else, more we're trying to get things going again. In the last couple of years, we had our zone commander. We were trying to get Browning up and running. It fell apart. For our post, we started in March of 1935. At one time, we were one of the biggest for our district. There used to be 11 posts in this district, from Babb all the way down to Brady. What we have done for us is we've run on our traditions in Sweetgrass Post 73. I've looked through some of our old history books and everything else, like our wild game stew. The department commander drove from Butte, Montana, all the way to Sweetgrass. That was when the old road was just a 2-lane, just to come up there. So our post has a long history. We've worked with the communities. We've worked with all the people around it. We've been, like for our post and everything else, we're the honor guard and the firing squad. We used to go into Canada to do funerals up there. We've been all the way to almost to Chester, Joplin. We've been asked to go to Browning. It's to get out and know your community. Granted, we're spread out far. These people live in districts. We got people all the way in Cut Bank, all the way into the hills and everything else. We stick with our communities. We know our community. We know the teachers. We know the store owners. This is how we've done so many things that we've done. Just the end of this month, we got our Wild James Stew coming up. After that, then we got our raffles to do. When they do the There's supposed to be grip buys softball tournament. They have us do the color guard and work there. Is to be noticed in the communities, to work with them all the time. When we see them in the street, a lot of people don't know my name. They just look at me. There's that long-haired guy that yells at people at funerals. This is how you get known, and this is how you stay active in your community. For everything we do, we always have people always asking us to do things. Glad gala days and summers, they had us. I'm the youngest there, and I still march with them. We go to Mirage Fair, Fort County Fair. When was the last time any of the other posts showed up? At our 100-year anniversary, we had some cut bank and Galata people show up. It's a Fort County Fair. You guys are invited. Yes, guys, we'll come down. We've done for Homesteader Days. We've done it for Whoop Up Days. It's to stay in the community and stay active with them. We've got 2 students. One of our guys, he used to be our bugler. He's down in Billings working on a flight. Go join the Air Force. His younger brother now just joining the National Guard. The family knows us because of the years he was 8th grade all the way until senior, being our bugler. Everybody knew it. So as Keith has asked me, what we do to stay in there. Randy, how many times have you been back and forth with us? You've tried other posts and we're still the best.
Yeah.
Because we try, and we try to stay within our communities, build camaraderie. Danny Biker Rodeo up there, everybody at the end of August. He invites us up there. Even days now, this will be our 3rd year going to them. It's little things like that to get known in your community. It's harder and harder to get members. I know we're trying, everybody's trying. But as I want to be a nominating committee, how many posts are we going to lose in the next couple of years? Gladys down to 2 active members. We never see Cut Bank. Browning's going away. Shelby's got 2 or 3 active. So trying to find officers and everything else, you really got to go out there and start pushing, start working with your people. Just go out and say hi. If you see them on the street, have a beer with them, whatever, visit with them. Us, oil field, we stop in the middle of the road and have conversations like farmers and ranchers. So it's things like that that stays in there. That's how you build your network. I know up there in Canada and everything else, for as big as Calgary is, you've been losing numbers in your posts, haven't you, Jim? But you guys stay active and still well known. So we appreciate what they go, even in a bigger city that you got more population than most of this side of the state. So it's things like that that will make your post continue to grow. We got another generation. I just gave our commander another name of somebody from Cut Bank that moved down to here that they can pick up. I know he's a veteran. He's going to join us, but he moved down here. It's these things that will keep your post going. Granted, you might only have 3 or 4 people. We've been to funerals with a total of 5, but we've done it. And these people know it. We've done funerals in Cut Bank when people are looking at our hats and where's Sweetgrass? And they're 50 miles over there. Doesn't Cut Bank people? No, they won't go 6 miles, but we'll drive 100 miles round trip. It's to stay active in your communities, in your schools, in your churches, anywhere you can meet people. This is how we're going to have to build this back up again, because we're all getting older and it's getting harder. And we know the younger veterans out there, just to get them interested, as in other organizations. So with that, I'll turn it back over to our commander. Thank you for your time.
Dusty,
Yes.
Dusty, I've been going down there for 27 years.
I know you have.
3
I remember
times.
when you. Absolutely. And we thank you, Jim, for doing all you do for us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dusty. I am really happy that Dusty did that. To highlight his post because it is a very successful post. It his membership shows it. He's very visible. The post is very visible, like he says. And that's why I wanted to spotlight different posts at different meetings to kind of maybe learn from each other. You know, something that's successful from one, maybe you can take back to your post and so on. But his is obviously very successful, and I thank Dusty for doing that report. I'd like to make a couple of announcements here. Larry Dobb, who spoke at our meeting last fall, had a heart attack this week. A very good man, but he's just recently gotten out of the hospital, and the prognosis is very good. So we're really thankful. And I just wanted to bring on very important well wishes for him. Our colleague Jim Grossett in Canada there has had a broken wrist, and we're certainly well wishing him to have a quick recovery and get going. Brad Huffman underwent shoulder surgery this week. I haven't heard, but we certainly are doing well wishes for him. Our post commander might be discharged from the hospital today, but he was undergoing some surgery, and we certainly wish him well as well. Is there anything else someone would like to bring before this district meeting? Or any announcements you have, or anything for the good of the meeting? Or the Legion? If not, I declare. Oh, you do, sorry.
Quick question, maybe I missed it, but we're gonna. He's ending business.
No.
Perfect. I'm coming off, baby. No, blame on that.
That's all right. If not, I just doing the district part.
Okay.
Yeah. I declare the district portion of the meeting adjourned.
Stop.
Please stand. Colors in place, hand salute. 2. I now declare this district conference in recess. We'll reconvene in 15 minutes or a quarter after 10-ish, about, or 10 after 10, somewhere in there. Okay, one more ring on you.
And this, you still there, you still got big numbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not up for an election, not to the bottom. So no, we'll have the things to determine that. Oh, no, I mean. Well, I mean, I know we did this.
Yeah, that's why I
Probably announce it.
Yes. Okay, I will. I do that, and you do you have those little numbers?
Right here, yeah.
Okay.
You don't have any plans to change numbers or anything? But there's a kind of districts, if you want to move some around. I don't
Can your program?
you know, to get on that part, this, if you want,
I can bring it over.
if you want to borrow this one, then.
I will, yeah. And then I'll start that at the beginning of the
Yeah,
the program, and talk about the location.
and then, yeah, use that's got to be. Districts.
Oh, okay.
That's,
Yeah.
that number.
All right, I'll try to remember.
I was been, I that, I didn't.
You know, there's little things I miss, but
Well, no, and you're, I mean, and this one is,
I know we're meeting here, but you probably should be announcing.
Yeah, like I will announce it too, because I think it's working really good for me. I say,
Agreed. Amen. It's a good place to hold it.
yeah, it's kind of close in and everybody can travel and I have about 2 days before we're going to finalize the meeting, you understand all that.
I promise.
You may.
That's what Ken works on that.
Either way, I'm gonna give you one of Ray's, he's a historian. Is that enough? Okay. Are we going to do? Hopefully it's not too boring. I talk too much, but.
Get all the press. That's all that matters.
Now you're women's veterans coordinator.
No, I'm not anymore.
What is your title?
I am running for department.
That's- Okay, so I'm just gonna introduce you as former zone commander.
I'm the last person to speak.
Okay,
So at the very end of everybody else, then I'll come up and give a 3-minute little spiel.
so let me just say, I was trying to get a title for everybody and.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say former zone, you help me out. So.
How do you do if you need me?
But good, I don't know, how was the meeting? You thought it was okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little fast, but good. Got all the information you needed. So that's good.
Well, I was trying not to put people to sleep.
Yeah, well, you didn't do that.
Yeah.
You didn't do that. Your voice carries good, so
So,
and it's not monotone, so it don't put people
yeah,
to sleep.
I hope not. Yeah, because yeah, Dustin mentioned that I must be putting people to sleep. I might be a little bit long.
No, if it was monotone, that'd be another story.
Yeah.
But no,
So, and you're the last, so I'll talk with Dwayne in a minute and see.
he'll
When-
get a list of, he should give you a list.
I'm gonna do that and try to figure that out.
If anybody else wanted to do it. No. I think that's the thing that and by the way.
I don't know how.
Because he needs to get out to
What order?
I'm willing to stay, but he's having a real problem.
No.
No, I don't know.
She's out of town for a week. I'm gonna ask her.
This is federal. Goes up on every day. This one I heard says. That's fine. I don't know. You know, why?
Josh said, doing training. We're gonna.
And say, you know, that case, she is a good.
Yeah. No. Just back here.
Okay, that's or.
Yes. No, she needs to do everything. I was sleeping. Yeah. Things. You know. He's had. No, that's he's more next week. Yeah. Like there's not so many.
What I use every day.
Yeah, because. It's 10 months old.
Well, yeah, so. About that means taking.
I was just like, what you saying?
I think I went to the Chris, as long as.
Which one do you want?
We can figure out your minutes.
And then dictate, and that's what he wants to say here, and like, June, the story and running, so it's on June. And this is good for.
Yeah, I'll come back. It's okay, one. I'll get the homework. So I think I'll remember.
Yeah, that's what we're supposed to say. Library, but yeah. We're we call that a ship. Doing the airlines having the politics. Others also we candidates said. The rest of you younger member doing something with things I leave. The foot in the place. Whatever you look up, this is fine. Okay, our business, how good it was, and remember, you get the problems to the. Like I said, the future of John's yesterday, it's really really nice, so they got to more than that.
Right.
And then that hands out, not work back around it.
Yeah.
And all that, but you got more, right? So I'm trying next week, I call what's people, I don't know, I mean, you're, so that's what really nice. You think. I was here to get weather. Right. Chat with us.
They're probably gonna extend it and road snow and even do a bingo.
Do you have to have, in your bylaws, do you have to have somebody approve the financial report?
I do it by the agenda, that's given to me. But the judge advocate just wrote a letter out and stuff and, just by having, I have a copy of my, bylaws too, if you want to. But I think, we do approve the financial, and that's one of the first things I do.
I think you did it, but I'm just saying.
No.
If it's like, he asked you to come back and do membership, time and place, financial report. I can't remember what was the other ones.
Yeah. And I'll modify.
But at 40, thank you, or bread and butter resolution, but nothing else. And any resolutions.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point too. I don't usually bring those in, but
Yeah, but because they need to be approved here. If you have a post resolution that came forward, it has to be approved here before it can go forward again.
yeah, I think that's a very good point, Ray. I had
So
forgotten.
you might just ask if there's any resolutions that are out. I was just thinking, like,
Yeah.
well, I was just following right through with you and I'm working and all of a sudden I said, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, but no, those are good things.
But you have a time and place for next.
Yeah, and that's what I had dressed out. And I will do that.
And membership, it's just a number for each.
Yeah, and he gave me that, and I didn't realize that and stuff, but it was good.
What's your major news organization?
In Conrad, they have a
Paper.
paper, and Valier has several little town.
So what I would do is sit down and write an article about membership and drop it into every newspaper that comes out up here, newsletter, whatever it is. Send it to each of the organizations, and there's a lodge, any place else, and just tell them that we're looking for that. It's a good place to train people. It's a good place to find volunteers, all of that, just whatever you want to do to say that, because that's what we're having a problem with down. We have 800 members in our 839 members for folks.
Wow.
We get 30 at a meeting, but only 6 or 7 of them that do it. And that's basically what you got here, the 6 or 7 that do everything.
Yeah.
And everybody else is just sort of set back.
Yeah.
We've got to challenge them somehow to do things.
That's what I'm trying to do it, especially with younger members of my post. They're taking over leadership. And
How many veterans do we have in schools that could turn the tide for the American Legion Boy State or the Auxiliary Girl State if they were there talking to them every day about, right?
yeah.
Not but just say that's a great opportunity, just like any other scholarship. Because it is a scholarship program.
Yeah. And an educational program, that's for sure.
Well, but we were just talking what we ought to do is we ought to have about 20 scholarships that we can issue. Well, maybe we should have 11 district scholarships for American Legion Boys State. Whoever comes up with the best plan or gets the most, they get a chance to be drawn for a district without any regard to their GPA or anything else.
I was trying to remember everything you were telling me here, so,
Time and place
yeah, no, that I got.
and resolutions from posts
Yeah.
to the district so that you can forward them. And the department might have a couple of resolutions too. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, yeah, that,
We haven't done much. And then where's the other one?
I got membership goals on that.
Membership goals.
Yeah. Yeah, well, thank you, Ray, and I'll, do you want to say a few words?
Well, I'm gonna be
Yeah,
the department thing.
yeah,
I'll be.
okay.
I think he's got it. I think
Hi, Ray.
Dwayne has a list. How they go.
Now, one other question I was gonna ask you real quick. What did you think of a promotional video? It's not exactly what you do, but for Boys State, because if I log
Well,
on.
we need to do it.
On
We were talking, well, here's what we were talking on the way up. Why can't we find some previous attendees from school, get their perspective? Find somebody in the community that went to it 10, 15 years ago, get their perspective.
Yeah, and just kind of give an overview of what goes on from, if you get a well-produced,
And
with this age of YouTubes
yeah,
and different things, it's not promoting you.
I can show you what we just did. One day, we just lost the service club at Fort Harrison
Yeah,
over some things were going on. So they were asking me about the history of the service club. Well, the guy came in, sat down, set a phone down. And I just talked to the phone. I mean, I talked to this group, but the phone was there. They just put it on YouTube and it's getting rave review, and it was just off the cuff.
yeah,
So if you said like I was thinking there's probably, I don't know if you could ask, I don't think the majority of these people have any, but there's probably people on the auxiliary side that can also talk about it.
Yeah.
That would be a great one.
Yeah.
But if we could just find some people who have done it, get their voice.
I agree.
And then
Some
maybe
promotional
have
thing.
Josh as the director talk about the
Yeah.
sequence of events.
Yeah, just
And
some
then
promotional.
have one of the guidance counselors,
Yeah.
one of the counselors,
Yeah,
talk about
absolutely.
their experience.
Except it's just so much more than two pictures. Yeah, I
And
appreciate that.
you put it on, because it'll always go to YouTube and they can't not see it if they
Yeah.
want to.
Oh, yes, it's just for young people.
Go on YouTube, talk about American Legion.
Oh, it's a clear thing.
That's right.
We gotta adjust to the future. Yeah, well, thank you, Ray.
Wolves were a little muddy out on the drains at home there, so it's interesting. It's not terrible. You're fine. No. West side. No, they actually got, remember, I never really seen this.
It's did we interrupt the Zoom or be on there?
I hope we still there.
Hey, you still on there?
Oh, you bet.
Good to see you.
Well, I said hi while you were BSing there a few minutes ago, but you didn't hear me.
I know. I didn't hear it. Yeah, I was rambling on. I have a paper here that I will mail you a copy of, or I'll email it to you tonight. I'll reference that so you'll have it, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. And then how we doing? How we doing with the plans for next year?
Not too bad, not too bad. We got lots of plans. Money's a little tight, but we're getting there. We still got time to get a lot more money. But we got lots to do when you get here.
I had a young man who knows you, who has a outfitting business out on the east side of Calgary. He's got big, bushy hair, beard, wears cowboy boots, and he keeps his money in his cowboy boots because he came into the museum yesterday or Thursday. And before he left, he just started throwing money around to us. And I said, what you should do is you should go to CN20. I said, you know where that's at? He says, oh yeah, I know where it's at. I said, they're going to host the convention. Maybe you could help out there. He just
got his name and number. Give it to me, and
I will. I'll see if I have. We just made him a life member. He just said, I said, why don't you become a member? And he says, okay. And then he looked at my form and it says life membership was down here in about the third column. And he says, oh, I'll just do that. So he just started throwing money at the table. So I said, that's the kind of guy I like to meet.
You know Rory Corey from the museum
Huh?
here? You know Rory Corey from the museum here?
I met him.
Yeah, he's gone back east.
Is that right?
Yeah, bigger, better things to do.
Did they keep the first special service force piece up in that one building?
Yeah.
They had about 400 square feet or something like that they did.
Yeah.
John
he's
Hart.
done quite a bit.
Have you met John Hart?
Not yet.
Okay. Reach out and talk to John Hart. Okay.
Yeah.
He's a first special service force son.
Okay.
Okay. But he's a military veteran himself. So he'd be a good one to have on your team for their planning. Okay.
Well, send me that information, buddy.
I will send you that. Okay.
Great. Thanks. Thanks, Ray.
I'll see you when we do the presentations.
Yeah.
You want to see what everybody else is doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see.
See if I can. They're all filling out those assessment forms
Okay.
and talking about stuff. So
Well, you know, the
not a lot of us
consolidated
here, but
report.
they're good people.
Yeah.
So
The consolidated report I do online
yeah,
on my Legion.
right.
Yeah.
So how do you use My Legion? How do you use My Legion?
I just click on my Legion here. I got it right on my saving things. And
Can you
every
send
day-
out?
every day I check it. Every
Yeah.
day I'm on it.
Okay, is there a report mechanism in there? Because I don't use it every day.
Yeah, I go to reports every day and then check and see who's renewed online.
Okay.
And that's a few other things I can look at any member in the post. I can check them out. I can change information that needs to be changed, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, it's a very good tool. I love it. And if I can ever get somebody to take over this job, I'll teach them how to use it and they'll love it too.
Well, that's what we were talking about. We need to train our replacements, and we don't do a very good job with that.
Well, I think
I just talked to the district commander, and that's the same thing. He wants to train some younger people, but we can't find them.
Well, I had a very good guy, but all of a sudden he sort of popped out of sight. So if I ever get him back in, it'd be great.
Yeah, that's the problem. A lot of times, if you find somebody that's burning the candle, so both ends, they usually are busy with everything that they can, and then you can't keep their attention because you got too many things going. So, but
Well,
anyway,
he did a lot for us on the
yeah.
he did a lot for us
Okay.
on the
Well, stand by. We're back at it here again. Okay.
good.
You're right.
I got home. London with a, you can do it. It's hard.
Yeah, I got a hold of pickles.
Smile, you're on candid camera. You got your picture.
Get to release.
All right, we're gonna get that.
It's funny.
You got one right.
Current breaking plan. Another pins, sorry. Yeah.
The way we've got this set up in here right now, we're breaking the plane out and everything. That's between that. This, that can see whatever, that's on the crossover. And just the way we set it up. Break the plane. So here's where I would put it. I would get right there. And right there. Just so that you don't have to cross over, because it's an age-old thing that the American Legions always held on. Was let's break the plane. Well, there's nothing in the book. This but the old heads will be well, planes, that's $5. Oh, that's that kind of shit. But they're looking for that issue. So
9th Infantry, when were you there?
Okay.
I ferried you around on the Joker.
Yes. That.
Yeah, I must been, well, from April to October of '68, I was, store gunner crew chief on, and we flew out, I got the 190th assault. We didn't fly for the night very often, but
So they.
once every week, 10 days, we flew for the night.
Yeah, I was down in Washington for.
We were, talk about seeing a bad later.
I would say ask.
Please take your seats.
First guys for that.
Please stand. Colors in place, and salute. 2. I now declare this 3rd district conference reconvened. Okay, I've got to cover a couple points I kind of overlooked. That should have been part of the district meeting that I need to address. One is I have to go ahead. Oh, yeah, please be seated. I'm standing so I forget everybody else needs to see. Got to go over the goals for 2024. The 2025 goals. We're going to keep them the same and the same percentages of 302, and everybody will be the same as they were before. So basically, it's CN20 is 45. Valier will be 50. Conrad will be 40. Cutbank will be 40. Shelby will be 25. Galata 15, Sweetgrass 67, and Browning is 45. So let's see, do I need a approval of that, Dwayne? Okay, I'd like a motion to go ahead and approve those membership goals.
I so move.
10-20, Jim Grossett moves. Can I have a second? Rob Christian seconds. Is there any discussion on that? Okay, if there's no discussion, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion is carried. Okay, time, place, I was also supposed to cover, the fall meeting will be back here at the Moose. Time and date to be, determined yet. And, so I don't need any action more than that, do I, Dwayne? No, that was it? Okay, and, I need to cover.
Can you turn
Are there
that
any
down a little bit?
resolutions any of the posts have? Or anything like it that they would like to bring forward to, for us at district and then forward to convention? Okay, so there's no resolutions going forward at this time. Okay. I think I've covered everything, district. Okay, so, I misplaced that, so we'll have to, say the district part of this meeting is, I now declare adjourned. I adjourned it just a little too quick. So, I go. Okay, I'll go ahead and go to, the department part of the program then. And I would like to please welcome and introduce Andy Rice. He is our, zone commander, North Central Zone.
Thank you, Commander. Yeah, everybody hear me all right?
Yeah.
Got a rock crowd in here, all right?
We're loud and unruly.
Yeah, well, especially you, Dusty.
Can't imagine that.
Commander, put that screen down, just the thing down a little bit because it's too much light. That's that's great. Thank you.
You got my profile now, Jim. There you go.
Great.
The one thing I would like to start off with is I'd like to give a round of applause to your district commander.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, I have to commend your guys' district. You guys are doing a wonderful job on membership. And I've already extended the challenge to your district commander, but I will formally repeat it to everybody here. I have given the challenge to all 3 district commanders in this zone that if they are able to attain the 100% goal by the time, I will personally hand them $250 at department convention.
And I already emailed my, group. And I told them that if they attain your goal, that they get it split it among their posts.
So,
I donate it back to the post.
just a little something to kind of sweeten the pot there and everything. You guys are already doing a heck of a job, as I said. The only other thing that I can really go into cover is, for those of you that maybe don't know, there is another raffle that is being done for a couple of guns. And they are one is a Buffalo Bill commemorative rifle. And Bill, what one was yours? It was not 6?
Yes.
He's gonna bring it.
There's the flyer right there. Dwayne's got it. So, and I would like to reiterate on the raffles as it is, and I'm sure Dwayne would probably touch on this if I didn't. These are not a department raffle in that sense of it. They are a Legion raffle, American Legion raffle. And they are honestly the easiest fundraising ability that you can have for your post, because you're getting money back for every raffle ticket sold, and your post is no out-of-pocket expense. You're not having to purchase the weapons, you're not having to do anything. All you got to do is sell the ticket and you're making money. So I know the Missoula post over there, that is one of their biggest ways of fundraising for their posts, is just to sell the Legion raffle tickets that we kick out from the department. So that's what I'd just like to touch on with that. Switching hats over to the SAL, as I'm the detachment vice commander, I would simply like to put out again that it is definitely a very solid benefit to a post to be able to form an SAL squadron to go in conjunction with them, because not only do you get an infusion of youth to be able to help post with activities, whatever you're trying to do, but it also gives you stronger ties to the community because you're getting families involved then, maybe so-and-so's a veteran that you haven't been able to talk into, joining the post, but by God, you could talk his son into joining, and that might very well incentivize him into coming along with him. So, like I say, I strongly encourage it. You only need 10 members to get a charter going. So with that, I would say keep up the good work, gentlemen. You're doing a heck of a job. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andy. Okay, our next speaker. Please welcome Carrie Brunken. She is the VSO out of Great Falls.
Morning. How is
Good morning.
everybody? Hi, good morning. I don't have much to say. Nothing is really new. But I am out of the Great Falls office and I do handle Conrad and Shoto. So for outreach purposes, if you know anybody who needs VA assistance, send them my way. I have my business card in the back and I'm usually here twice a month and I'm up at the courthouse here in Conrad. And then in Shoto, I'm at the Teton County Courthouse Annex. Next thing to mention, if you know anybody who is paying for veteran service services, please tell them don't. What we do is free. So your award, none of that percent comes back to us. So if you hear any veterans paying for that service, they're being ripped off. Okay. That money, that allowance belongs to the veteran and to the spouses. Everybody know about the PACT Act?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good.
Huh.
Good. We have been slammed sideways. There's only two of us, Candace Herring and myself in the Great Falls office. We take care of 7 offices, or I'm sorry, 7 counties. And there's only 2 of us. We do
And
have an
Calgary.
admin now. What's that?
And Calgary.
Yep, Havre has that area too. And then we do have an admin now. Her name is Dee. She answers the phone. She is amazing. If you know anybody who's mad at us because we are not getting back to them fast enough, remind them there's only 2 of us. I've been doing this 13 years. I love what I do. And I don't need somebody coming into our office yelling at us because we did not get back to them fast enough. Okay. The other item, pensions. If you know anybody who needs assistance paying for nursing home, assisted livings, there's a program out there for them as well. So any VA, anything, healthcare, disability claims, pension claims, education, VA home loan, every pillar of the VA, we take care of that for you guys and your spouses. Okay, if you have any questions for me, Dwayne.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
I would just like to ask a couple of questions. Number one, how many claims are you averaging a month?
Between Candy and I, just ourselves, it's about 86 claims a month.
How many months are the claims are in a month?
30, 31.
Give you some idea. I'm asking that question to give you some idea of what they're up against. Question number 2, can you tell me, I believe as a side hustle, you do stats.
I do.
Can you tell me how much money is brought into this area
So just
on a
the
quarterly basis?
quarterly basis, about 25 billion.
Really? 25 million?
Yep.
$25 million, pretty impressive. Thank you.
Any other questions?
So I just have one comment that I'd like to make. Our veteran service officers around the state have been doing a phenomenal job for us. They are overworked because of the PACT Act, but they do a phenomenal job for us. So when we go in and see them, we need to make sure we thank them for what they do. Because they have been going above and beyond. Making sure they're taking care of what we need. So we congratulate all of you for what you.
Yes,
Where and how often are you in Great Falls?
in Great Falls
Yeah,
or Conrad?
Great Falls.
Great Falls.
I'm out of northeast of Shelby, so
Okay,
but it's just
so we have an office in Havre too, if that's easier for you. And then in Great Falls, we're there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thursday, we are in the office, but we are close to the public. Okay, and also to give you a heads up, we are looking for a new location for our office. So we have been in this location in Great Falls for 30+ years. We are now removing ourselves from that location and going to a new location. Once that happens, we will let everybody know.
I have a question for you. Talk to you about.
Sure. Yes.
Another comment. A lot of times when you go in, you go in with incomplete information. You have an idea in your mind what you want to apply for. Get your records in order. before you
Exactly.
Walk in there, because if that, they'll ask you, do you have a 214, do you have this, do you have that, do you have that? Oh geez, I got that at home. I don't know. Maybe it's in my
Right. And
briefcase, something like that. The more you can bring in, the more it's gonna be completed quick.
exactly. And it's another thing going off of that. If you do not have your 214, we can order that for you. Or maybe we have it in our filing system at our office. And then another thing that the VA is doing, if it's a brand new claim and you do not have direct deposit, you will need to get that. Okay, bring in, if it's a brand new claim, if you know anybody who has not filed before, tell them to bring me a voided check. Even though we put the information on the claim itself, they want to see that voided check. If not, you get a nasty gram. One more thing, if anybody has a debt. Yes, Dwayne?
Yeah.
Your debt. If anybody has a debt that they need to pay back to the VA, let us know. We can do possible waivers or a payment plan. We fill out that kind of paperwork as well. Okay?
that's a great point too, by the way. At the VA's, since I worked there, we decide, not we, trust me, I wouldn't send a debt to anybody, but if you get something in the mail saying, not one saying you owe an ambulance bill because you're in the ER or something like that, that's different. But if you get something saying, hey, we overpaid you, so now we're gonna take it back. Bullshit. Let her know, so that way we can try to find a way to get around that, like, it's every once in a while, believe it or not, the VA screws up. Make sure that if you get something like that, you give her a crack at it first. She's amazing. Let her see what she can do with it.
If you've been turned down before, let's look at it again. Okay? The worst they can do is say no, they're not gonna take away your birthday. So if anybody needs me, I am here all day. I'm in the back. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce our historian, Ray Reed.
Well, thank you, Commander, for allowing me to speak. Everybody should have had this one page. It says Raymond Reed at the top of it. If you don't have it, there's more copies over on the table, but I just want to stress what's here. I'd like to emphasize the following for post commanders and any appointed post or district historians. The process for preparing a post or district history. During the 2022-23 Montana Department Convention in Lewistown, no post histories were submitted to participate in the annual post history contest. During this year, there's an opportunity for Montana American Legion Post to submit histories for the annual post contest categories for 1 year and post narrative. And there's also a new category, digital. We can actually do it a digital way. I still haven't got my arms around this, but if you're collecting stuff, if you're putting stuff into your computer, mash it all into one document and make sure it's part of your post history. The Department of Montana supports the preparation of post histories to instill the process of various aspects of post and district operations through the membership year. I've been filming our district commander because he's probably the most clarifying district commander I've met so far about how to do things. And so we're hoping that that would be part of it. In fact, we just had a discussion offline here that we're thinking that maybe what we need to do is do a YouTube on the American Legion Boy State with some of the, is there anybody in here that was went through the American Legion Boy State way back? Okay. So
way back, Ray, you could be talking about civil.
clear back to 1947. But what we're thinking about is if you know of anybody in the local community that has been in the has gone through that program, they may be retired now, but they'd be a great bonus if we could get them on camera. Say, this is what I learned at American Legion Boy State. So that's it. I agree what he told me. He says we got to go forward. We can't stay in the printed copy thing forever. We got to get into this where everybody's at. How many people have a cell phone here? Yeah, so that's where you're at. That's where all that information is going right into that cell phone. So the national headquarters and I are aware that the professional historian is not normally that a professional historian does not normally fill the position. But that doesn't mean anything because we give you all the guidance and you can get more if you need it. But the big thing is, if you put it in a newspaper, clip a copy, put it in a file. And a couple months down the road, you say, what did we do last fall? You got the file right there, so you can do that. Take a copy of your post minutes, because every time you have post minutes, you have that little discussion. What were we doing? During the 2 district meetings, you have the opportunity to talk about your post history, like we just had Dusty do here. So I think that's great. American Legion Officers Guide has all of the information in it. It's really hard to read. You have to really sit down and study it, but it shows you the procedure of how you do it and get it forward. I'm looking forward to seeing some people at the Lewistown convention this year. And so somebody will say to me, well, I can't even get into the convention. Okay, but you can always send the post history into the convention. We can still do it based on that remoteness. So please do that. My phone numbers are there. I really congratulate anybody that's using social media. I'm been drugged through the knothole 2 or 3 times now, but I'm just starting to see just how important it is. Back on the table, there's a bonus. And if you don't take one of these home, I don't know. I'm just going to say you should do this. It's from Christy Jacobson. It's not a gotcha letter. It's the 2 resolutions that were passed at the last convention or the last legislative period. The first one, and they're stated on the bottom, is a joint resolution of the Senate and House of Representatives, the state of Montana, recognizing Montanans who have served or continue to serve in the military, declaring the period 2023 to 2025 as the era of recognition and commemoration of the Montana Army National Guard, Air National Guard, Army Reserve, Marine Corps Reserve, Navy Reserve, and all active duty personnel. So you need to get a copy of that and Jim, I'll send you a copy of that as well. The other one is Senate Joint Resolution 18, which is a recognition of the 163rd winning of the San Ananda battle. And it's now a year old. March 5th, 2023 is when that actually was written. So it's another year. So this is the 81st anniversary of that event. But they were credited with the first defeat of Japanese land forces in the Pacific region on that date. And that was January 1943. They didn't do it without a lot of help from the Australians and the 32nd Division, who were there before and got their butts just eaten up. But these guys studied the process and were very successful. We had our regimental commander who ended up by the name of
Comrade Legionnaire, while you're thinking of that name, can they bring the auxiliary in?
Absolutely. I'm done here now. Just look at the bottom here. The last thing I will tell you after that is that we just did the welcome home, and next year we need to have every post do something on welcome home for the Vietnam veterans. That's your challenge for the following year. Remember the Memorial Day, the 105th. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. Next, I'd like to introduce our department adjutant, Mr. Dwayne Cunningham.
Yay!
Jim, I got a question. I got a question for Jim. Anybody notice whenever talking to him? How come your cast is red? Did you
'Cause
run
I'm
into some
different.
weeds or something? It's red. Hold it up.
It's for
You're
Red
wearing-
Friday.
for red. Okay, I'll buy that. I thought maybe you'd run into a bunch of Marines at the hospital or something. Good morning, everybody. How we doing?
Outstanding.
Outstanding. Welcome, Jim. Glad to see you, buddy. Start out with a couple of notes. District Commander mentioned Larry Dobb, our NEC, had a heart attack last weekend, was in pretty rough shape. But luckily, he's a tough bird. He doesn't look like it. He walks 5 miles. He does everything right. And he had a heart attack. So it just tells you sometimes luck is just not on your side. The good news is that he's went through about a 6-hour surgery on Thursday, and they took him off the ventilator yesterday, so he's doing better. They're expecting to recover, so that's good news. Just thought I'd pass that along. One of the things the NEC always does, and I'll just throw it out there, and you can run with it if you want. But the NEC always talks about the National Commanders fundraising plug, and this year it's Veterans and Children and Youth Fund. So if donations will be accepted by Mr. Dobb, whether he's in the hospital or not. So I'm just passing that along. There is a survey that we passed out. Survey, long-term veterans care needs. We talked about it before, right? You've heard me a couple of times. The governor cited it as the law every 10 years, yada, yada, yada. It's long. It's 63 questions. I apologize. We fought that battle and didn't win. It started out being 83, I think, something like that. So we whittled 20 off it.
They needed a little, about 40 more. But what it is, it's really Montana specific. This is not something nationwide. This is us. This is our voice, our chance to talk. Tell folks in Helena at the Capitol what we need as veterans. And one of the things we need, more long-term care facilities for veterans. We've all been saying it, we're getting older, right? Who's going to take care of us? Where are we going to be? Where are we going to go? Veteran cemeteries going up. We sat through legislative session last time, and I heard one of the dumbest, funniest questions I've heard. Why do we need more cemeteries for veterans? Because we die. Everybody might think we're invincible, but we eventually die, right? So we do need more cemeteries. The one in Missoula by 2025 is going to be full. So we need more services for long-term care. This is how we speak. This is our voice. Please fill this out. I've got additional ones in the back. You can do it online by going to, I'm not going to spit it out because I couldn't do it if I wanted to right now. But you can go online and do it. If you go to DPHHS, Montana Veteran Survey, you'll find it there. Please, auxiliary members as well. You can do it as well, right? It's not a veteran-only thing. Because what are we? We're a family, right? So if, Keith needs a long-term care facility, Mrs. Keith, or I'm assuming there's a Mrs. Keith, maybe,
Yes.
or just somebody looking to be Mrs. Keith. Bottom line is there is one. So, I mean, it's important that we all have a voice in this, and this is how we do that. So make sure you get the word out, take it back to your posts. I put this together for one reason only. So you don't have to take notes, and you can take it back to your post and get the information out. Please do that. Take the 10 minutes when you get back to your post at a post meeting and get the word out to everybody, all right? Membership. The district commander was saying, outstanding job. Keith, you're doing great. And that's got to do with the post as well. It's not just Keith, but Keith is spearheading, leading the charge. You guys are doing great. I can't be happier about that. And Keith's doing a great job. Keep up the good work. When Dusty was talking, I thought of two things. When he was talking about membership and trying to get more members and really working hard, getting in there and getting after it. Two things. Nationally, they're talking about how we increase membership. How do we do that? Number one, start doing more family-centric things at your post. Younger veterans, we're talking about younger folks, they don't want necessarily to go sit in a bar stool and talk like we used to. That's what we used to do. I still do it. I'm getting older. The younger veterans, they have families, they're doing other things. We have to do things to pull the entire family in and not just the veteran. So start doing family-centric things. Bingo. On Tuesday night at my post meeting, I'm gonna beat them up about, we're gonna do bingo because it's a moneymaker. Because when I was doing District 7 the other day, Twin Bridges, was it Twin or Three Forks? One of the two said, we do bingo. And I asked him, well, what are you pulling? He goes, we do bingo once or twice a month. We pull in between $800 and $1,000 a night for my post. Hello. I don't know which post is out there that couldn't use that kind of turnaround for bingo. Well, what are you doing? You're pulling in veterans that they're not the typical person in your post. So start thinking about ways you can do family-oriented stuff. Second thing, especially when I look around the room, we got to get 24% of the military workforce currently is female. Look around the room. Are we at 24%? We're not. They're out there. Female veterans come back and they go back to doing what they do, amazing things. They're not worried about veteran organizations. They go about their business quietly. We need to find them. They're out there. We need to invite them to our post, invite them to our meetings, invite them to our events and say, you're welcome here. You're a veteran, you're welcome here regardless of who, what, where, why, right? We're all veterans. So make sure. Try and do things like that. On the 4th of May in Laurel, Montana. We did our first one last year in Helena. This year we're doing our second Women's Veterans Symposium. Right, and what that is, it's simply acknowledging there's female veterans out there. Right, we don't do a very good job of that. Second, female veterans require different things at VA hospitals and have different issues that males do. We need to understand that, recognize that, and support them. This is one way we're doing that, trying to draw some in. The city of Laurel donated the space we're having it in. And from what I understand, our district commander, District 10, Irene Dickerson, is taking the ball and running with this and has some amazing folks in there talking. So if you got nothing better to do on the 4th of May, come down. You don't have to be a female. It's open to anybody. But it's the speakers are going to be speaking specific female veteran topics and issues. I'm excited for it because it opens the door and lets them know that, hey, doesn't matter if you're male, female, whatever, you're a veteran. Because that's all we are. I don't care who's got my back as long as somebody's got it, right? I mean, anybody that's been in combat can tell you, I don't care if it's a monkey behind me, as long as he can shoot straight, we're in good shape, right? So it doesn't matter who it is, we're all veteran. Let's see, let me get off the membership thing. Dues increase, District Commander Stark mentioned that. I won't beat on it, but understand, come 1 July, we're gonna request, instead of $18.50 going to national, $23.50 will be going to national. So we'll be asking for that additional $5. There's no way around that. That's what we gotta have. Talked about the veterans long-term care needs study, so I'll leave that alone. Legislative. I got to go back, Mr. White over there, myself, our congressional liaison, Roger Hagan, and let's see, who was the fourth one with us, Bill? Larry, or NEC, Larry Dobb, and two of the auxiliary, Chris Nelson and Karen Susag, went back to DC for a conference over a 3-4 day period. First day we sat in meetings. Some of them were very interesting. VA&R. I sat through a VA&R meeting. It was very interesting. But what we did on the second day is we go over to the Capitol. We sit down with and I'm going to bounce around here because it drives me nuts standing behind the podium. We talked with Senator Daines, Senator Tester's folks, Congressman Zinke's and Congressman Rosendale represented. And what we do is we talk about initiatives that the American Legion on the big side have, and we talk about Montana specific things. Very interesting discussion. And everybody that was in the room, we spent about 2.5 hours per congressional representative, right? 2.5 hours each of them, which was pretty amazing. Now we talked about the initiatives, and those initiatives are in your package there, just so you know. Obviously, suicide prevention and mental health is still the biggest thing. Be the one, we want to do that. We want to make sure veteran suicide is slowly ticking down, but one is too many. All right, one is too many. So we want to make sure that, hey, just ask the question, how are you doing today? Sometimes this is a simple conversation with somebody because they haven't had one in a while, especially in smaller communities, right? If you're not getting out, it's snowing all the time, whatever. Coming out of winter can be a pain sometimes, right? Ask the questions. You doing all right? Doing okay? You're my brother, you're my sister, whatever. Ask the question. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of asking if you're doing all right, because that's important. All right. Alternative treatments. We've talked over the last, we've been lucky. Post 426 out of Lakeside. Pushing along. Their doctors. It's a very interesting post. By the way, new post last year, they've grown, they've got over 50 members now. 50 members. Are they all from Lakeside? Absolutely not. They're from all over the country. But they have one thing in common. They want to end veteran suicide. They want to ease PTSD in veterans. they're doctors, they're scientists, they're all, just a vast variety of folks. It's very interesting. I sat in on a Zoom meeting because they do their post meetings via Zoom because they've got post members all over the country. And I'll tell you what, Keith, I was impressed how they did that Zoom meeting because it was professional. They did everything that we do sitting here and they do it on a Zoom basis, so it can be done. But what they talk about is how can we get the VA, get our government on board with alternative treatments for PTSD? Because they don't work. If I give Bill, if he's got PTSD real bad, currently the VA stuffs him full of pills. Bill now is Ray, and Ray's going, wait a minute, that's me. What are you doing being me? Because Bill's not Bill anymore. Because those drugs do crazy, they're meant to tamp you down, right? Make sure you don't commit suicide. But it changes you. It changes you. So why not find other ways? Roger Hagan, if you don't know who he is our legislative liaison. He works at the Capitol for veterans issues and he's an amazing gentleman. Legionnaire. One of the things he does, he sat in that meeting with Senator Tester and Dade. Funniest thing came out of his mouth. He said, I never thought I would be sitting here talking to a US senator and telling him you need to support CBD. Everybody know what CBD is? The oil that's in cannabis, that's in pot, that's in everything, blah, blah, blah. But if you filter out that CBD oil, filter out all the drug out of it. That CBD oil is found in cannabis, has been found to treat PTSD very well. It's no longer pot, it's just CBD oil. And Roger Hagan, who's Dusty's age, what he is, 26? Oh, right? Yeah. He's up there going, they thought I'd be talking about CBD oil, but we need to get behind this. We need the VA to do studies, get behind this, start treating our veterans with alternative methods to cure for it. I don't know if you're ever going to cure it, but if you can get it to where you're having more good days than bad, then that's what we want to do. All right, so that's alternative groups. VA healthcare modernization, obviously healthcare records is a big one, a big system that's coming out. The VA keeps tripping over its own feet. I'm not going to go into that. PACT Act implementation oversight, we've mentioned it. I'm not going to beat it to death. I will say this, PACT Act, awesome. PACT Act Part 2, they forgot something. They hired all these raiders and stuff that once the claim is in, I can sit down and I can get it out quicker. My backlog, the VA's backlog on that has dropped. Awesome. You know what they didn't hire? More of her. Dumb. We didn't put soldiers on the ground. We didn't put sailors in boats. We put more people in the big house up here. They missed the boat on that. So we've mentioned enough, they're getting beat up. Be gentle when you talk to them, please. But that is something we talked about to our congressional folks. We need more funding for more service officers. Montana's a big state. Montana's a big freaking state. And I've got a service officer on the eastern side of Montana that covers an area the size of 3 states on the eastern seaboard. Ridiculous. Right? We need more service officers. Let's see, safeguard veterans benefits. Yes, ma'am.
So, just so everybody knows, we are state. We are not federal. We are state employed.
And my question to Senator Dage was this: what's stopping the feds from putting some money aside to give to the state to hire more service officers? What's wrong with that idea? I don't see one. Don't see one. So that's what we propose to them. Give us more service officers. Veterans benefits. Carrie touched on it. I'm going to tell you this. I understand completely. I'm going to file a disability claim. And I go to Carrie and I say, hey, I want to come see you. I'm now packed and eligible. I want to come in tomorrow and get this claim rolling. Carrie's gonna tell you, I can't get you in until
I'm booked out until May.
booked out till May. So now I'm upset because Jerry can't get me in.
Go to the DAV.
Hush back there, you. Right, so I'm watching TV some night, and I see a commercial on TV, and it says, hey. The law firm of Reed and White. We will file your claim for you, get you 100%. Come see us. So I go see Mr. Reed and Mr. White. Well, by the way, one's called Shifty, but we won't talk about that, right? What do? They file your claim for you. They got a template. Boom, 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 check. Done. You're in and out of there in a heartbeat. If they get something for you, let's say it comes back, I get tinnitus at 10%, whatever I'm diagnosed with, and I get 10-20% of a service connection. Guess what? They get 30% of that for the rest of your life. They get 30% of that. And every time you get an increase, they get a cut of that too. It is a veteran tax. That is all it is. You're being taxed for being a veteran. Don't do that. Go see Karen. She will, I mean, she's amazing. They are amazing. All across the state. Just let them do their thing. Do not go to a law firm. You're gonna pay for it the rest of your life. You're gonna get a tax that every other veteran doesn't have that season. So please, don't do that. And that is something when we sat down with them, we said, we want you not only to put an end to it, but we want you to prosecute Shyster and Shifty back there and put him in jail. Because what are they doing? They're stealing from you the veterans' benefits that you've earned. They're stealing. That's all they're doing. That's all they're doing. So if you get a young veteran that comes in and doesn't know what to do, so he wants to hire that law firm, talk him out of it. Point him in the right direction. All right, I've got, sorry for getting on my soapbox on that, or irritation. The TAP program, remember, who's been through TAP? Remember what TAP was when you got out, they sent you to a class, maybe they told you how to do a resume, and they say, hey, you're getting out. Anybody remember that? Nobody here remembers TAP except me? You do? Thank you for understanding what TAP was. You do, yeah, you do, because you're younger than I am. But TAP is basically a transition class, right? But everywhere you go across the country, every base that discharges military members does it just a little differently. They teach you this, they teach you that. You know what they don't teach you? What you need to do. Do they? They don't teach you how to file a disability claim. They don't teach you how to get enrolled in healthcare. That's what we want to see the TAP program. When they say TAP program, we want to see A, organization. B, we want to see the VA there enrolling veterans in healthcare and helping them file a disability claim. Why should they wait? Why does Uncle Sam not want to do that? Because they have to pay, right? If you get out and you go on your merry way and you go to back where you live. That question, where do you live? Conrad. So you come back here to Conrad, do you know how to file a disability claim? Probably not. So I don't have to worry about you. But if you were sitting there in a TAP class and they enrolled you and did a disability claim, now I owe you money every month. Well, if you earned it, they should be paying it. Right? So we want some standardization and some certain things taught at these classes. A lot of this stuff that I'm talking about today has to do with, I'm not going to talk programs too much, but I'm talking about your voice. Because as veterans, we have a voice. That's why you're in the Legion, right? That's why you're in this new club, for lack of a better term, because we have a voice. And together we have a louder voice. American Legion Grassroots Action Center. If you go to that, I even give you the directions on how to do it. Do it just once, and it keeps your information there. Well, what it does, if I click on improving tap or whatever issue is out there that interests you, if you click on it, it will, if you put your email address in there and your location, asks you where you live, it will auto-generate an email to your senator or representative and say, I want you to support this. It does it for you. Couple of clicks and you're done, and then every time you go back in there and you click on it, for the next one that you see, hey, I agree with that. It'll do it for you again. You don't have to even put your information back in it, stores it on your computer. This is your voice. This is your opportunity to say, hey, I want our government, I want Senator Days, Tester, whoever, to get on board with this and push it. And what happens? What are you two senators? I don't care who they are. I don't care who your politics are. Bottom line is, what are you to a politician? What are you? Anybody know?
I'm an employer.
Wait, we're a vote. That's all you are, right? You're just a number, a vote. But if suddenly 500, 1,000 Legionnaires say, I want you to support this. Oh, well, that's 1,000 votes. I better start paying attention to this, right? This is our voice. This is how we make change. Enough said on that. Moving on. Let's see, what else we got here? All kinds of fun. National Convention's in New Orleans this year. I'm not gonna beat that one to death. If you wanna go have some fun though, New Orleans is a fun town. If you're interested in going, come back and see me before I get out of here, and I'll get you signed up, registered. It's really not that bad. $155 a night, 159, I think. And then some tax on top of it. You know, I've never been to convention, it's fun. It's interesting to see how this is done on a large scale. All right. Department convention this year is in Glasgow, all kinds of stuff going on. I will say this, currently scheduled to have the national commander in Glasgow during convention. He's gonna come out, and one of the things we're doing is I got the VA on board. We're doing a pack vet fest, whatever title they're calling it. But what they're doing is they're gonna have the entire, behavioral health, everybody over in Glasgow. And the veterans come in, because we don't do a very good job in small communities. And Glasgow, a little bigger than Conrad, is still a remote community. We're gonna have the entire VA there saying, how can we help you? Mr. and Mrs. Veteran, how can we help you? So I'm excited because Commander Seehafer is gonna get to see exactly how Montana, Department of Montana, American Legion does business. How we take care of veterans, because we do. And I got the VA on board, which they had to do something, so I twisted a few arms and threatened a few closet stories, and they went along with me, right? But that is the end of June. If you're interested in attending, again, let me know, we'll get you signed up. Buddy checks, I won't go into that. CPR, I think Keith's got a pretty good handle on that, so I'm gonna let that go. American Legion Boys and Girls State, Auxiliary Girls State, 16 to 22 June. Dates, those are confirmed solid dates. I've only got 15 kids signed up right now. We need more kids. Who's got a high school around? Anybody? They got a junior class? Probably, huh? Let's find one. Find me one. I need 3. If you get me 3, I'll pay for 2 of them. I'll find a couple posts that can't find one, and I'll get them to pay for it. You do not have, if I'd rather have more kids and figure out how to pay for them. If you tell me I can only afford to send 1, but I've got 4 that want to go, A, I'll buy you a drink, and B, I'll find the money for the other 3. So get out there and knock on doors, kiss babies, whatever you gotta do to get into the schools. But we need kids. We've only got 15 and I need 75 at least to make this work. So get out there and get them in. Oratory with hell we did that, was it last weekend? We did the oratory last weekend. We had 5 tested. We have 11 districts. Anybody do the math on that? We're 40, right? We should have 11. But we bought the house here. Very impressive young ladies. They were all female, if I remember correctly. Since I was a judge, you'd think I would. But very impressive. All 5 of them to get up and speak. You know, it's hard to get up here and speak. I'm used to it now. If you're a 15, 16-year-old kid, it's hard to get up and speak in front of people. It teaches them speaking skills, right? To get up here and talk. And it also teaches the Constitution to them. Very interesting topics. The gal who won it was out of a homeschool in Kalispell. JC, what was her last name? I can't think of her last name is off the top of my head. But very good. And we got her flights to national, where she's going to the national competition in Michigan here in another 2 weeks. So if you didn't send someone from District 3 last year, start knocking on doors and kissing babies now. I mean, this is free money. She walked out of Helena with about $700, $750, something like that. And as soon as she gets to national, that's just for showing up, it's $1,500. You win it, you walk away first place, 25 grand in scholarship. So it's worth it. Just talk to them. Who better teach the Constitution than us? Right? Who better? Who better? All right. Big case, cash calendars, fundraisers, their Legion fundraisers. I've still got some of you are interested in wanting to get in on it. It's not too late. See Mr. White over there, and he will get you hooked up. Post data forms. I think we've handed out all that stuff. Please get those back to me. Certification of officers. If you're posting switches, commanders, adjutants, whatever, please get that information into us. I can update it, get them access to my Legion, do all that, but I gotta know who they are. I get that all the time. Somebody will call me and say, hey, I'm not getting my whatever. Well, who are you? Right? You gotta tell me who you are. Tell the department who your folks are. Let us know so we can get them set up and they don't have a problem. Secretary of State corporate report and IRS form 990. I want you to peek at the back of something here. And I figure I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I'm really not. But if you look at the last 2 pages, right? First part is the Secretary of State filing. I've got 2 posts that have not done that. One since 2016 and one since 2020. You got to get those in. What does that do if you don't turn them in over a 3-year period? You lose your nonprofit status. Automatic, you lose it. What can anybody know what the state of Montana can do if you don't have your nonprofit status? Any money you've made over those years that you haven't lost, so take 2016, that's what, 2024 now, 8 years? You haven't paid taxes in 8 years. Because you lost your nonprofit status, any money that post made is legally taxed. They can come after you for that. Make sure your file is paid. $25 to file. This year it's free. I ain't even
It takes about 7 or 8 minutes.
When did I do these?
Yeah,
I
when-
didn't.
No, when did these come out? Because I already went in and did ours for
Did you?
22 and 23.
Yeah, sure.
I just got the notice back, middle of March.
No, Mark, okay.
I went-
So Aaron ran this probably middle of last month. We've been working on it, trying to get all the
I
information.
went to Rachel block and did all.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
Very important. The biggest thing and I'll just read something real quick for you here. All right. So we're talking 990, an organization that fails to file a Part E postcard or annual return for 3 consecutive tax years automatically loses its tax exempt status. So if you haven't filed in 3 years, your tax exempt status is gone. It means they can come knocking on your door anytime. To get that kind of stuff turned back on can be kind of pricey. So don't let that happen to you. Don't let it happen. All right? Enough said on that. I'm not beat that dead horse to death. But I just wanted to get you, I ran that report and I was kind of surprised because every year we talk about filing that stuff. Cash raffle tickets was mentioned, the raffle we got going on. If you're interested in buying a ticket, see Andy in the back. LIT, Legion Insurance. Everybody in this room was eligible for $5,000 of death and dismemberment. If someone had happened to you on the way home, you got, somebody in your family got $5,000. If you got LIT, there's an LIT form that Bill handed out to you. Fill it out. We made it simple. If you're not sure you're enrolled, fill it out. And actually, it'll be him because I tasked him. I pay him a lot of money to do the things he does. Right? Well, what he does is he'll put the information in for us. All you gotta do is give me the form. Give me the form and I will put it in for you. But I want to make sure if something was to happen, everything helps. Everything helps. So it's free insurance. You're entitled to it. Sign up for it. Give me the form and I'll get you signed up for it. We talked about the symposiums. I'm not going to go into that. Switching hats, VA do. Two things, the two biggest things are coming out. There's still the big US Department of Cybersecurity is still pushing two-factor authentication. What do you mean by two-factor authentication? Is if you want to, pretty soon, if you want to file your taxes online, you want to do anything government related, including the VA, you're going to need an ID Me or a login.gov or a DS login account. Any of those make sense to anybody? There's a few people in here, right? It's crazy. To get one of those, you got to upload your photos. It's a pain in the neck, but it's coming. So if you need help, if you want, Conrad, we talk about the service officer, let her know you want me to come up and I will sit down and help folks get a login.gov account so that's taken care of. But within the next 2 or 3 years, that's going to happen. Where you can't do anything for the government without having a stupid two-factor account. Okay. Next thing, appointment letters. When the VA sent you appointment letter, there is a glitch. You'll get a letter in the mail say, hey, go ahead and schedule your chiropractic appointment, but I want you to do it by the 26th of February. Oops. Today's April 6th. What the hell? Right? Ignore that date. It's a known glitch. Go ahead and just schedule the appointment. The VA knows there's a problem. They're working on it, but like everything else with VA, it's a time. If you get a letter and the date's goofy, ignore it, make the appointment. Right? All kinds of numbers in there for contacts. It's a great little tool to have. Take a picture of nothing else on your phone and leave it in your phone. That way you've got the numbers. You don't have to go searching for it. All right. Optometry. Here's a good one. This just came out this last week. OIG. Everybody know what OIG is, right? You're in the military. OIG is like the colonoscopy of government agencies. Right? Because OIG comes out and tells you everything you're doing wrong. So OIG was out last year and they said, why is your optometry bill so high, VA Montana? Well, VA Montana was saying, Dusty, I want you to go and you can get your eyes done wherever you want, get your eye exam and get new glasses. And Dusty was going to Bill White Scheister optometry department and whatever else he got, right? And he's charging Dusty, well, he's not charging you because the VA told you to get new glasses. So Bill's charging the VA $800 for that pair of glasses. Well, that's a no-no. That's a no-no. What's supposed to happen is Dusty goes to the White Shyster optometry, gets his exam, and they go through the VA's eyeglass maker. They do their own, they make their own glasses. They're supposed to go through that. Pair of glasses costs $100 versus $800. Remember the old $75 hammer? Same freaking thing here. So effective, what day is it? 1 July of 24. You are no longer, you can go out in town and get your eye exam done, but you have to go through, make sure that that optometrist goes back through the VA for the frames and the glasses, all right? Because if not, what's gonna happen is, Dusty gets his $800 pair of glasses, the VA is gonna say, well, it should have been $150. Here's your $650 bill, Dusty. Right? So that's gonna hurt. So make sure you don't go to Bill White's Shyster optometry, go to somewhere where they're actually working in the VA. All right, because we're out. I had one optometrist when we were talking to him about this, tell me, well, that's gonna put me out of business. Well, no shit, we don't see them in government. Right? We don't want that anymore. So just be careful with that. If you get your eyes done, make sure they're going back to the VA for the frames and the lenses. All right. Let's see what else we got. Non-VA emergencies, the phone numbers are there. I still get veterans come into my office. Right? I got a bill. I got a bill for whatever. And that was emergency and the VA shouldn't take taken care of it. My question to them is simple. Did you call on these 3 numbers? Did you tell anybody from Tri-West? Not from the VA, from Tri-West, that there was an emergency. Tri-West pays our bill for emergency. They're the ones you have to contact. If you call the VA and Janitor Bob picks up, and I know Janitor Bob, he works all the time there, I know him. He'll tell you, oh, you have chest pains, go to the hospital. No shit. Don't. That's not authorization for payment. You're gonna get the bill. You gotta call within 72 hours of stabilization. You gotta call these numbers. Not you, your spouse can do it, your kids can do it, somebody has to do it though. All right, don't get caught with that because then you get caught with a bill. And it's getting harder and harder and harder for the VA to backdate something and make it right. In here is a VA innovation report. Some of the things we sat through that VA and our conference, very interesting what the VA, some of the things they're doing. Did you know they can 3D, anybody know what 3D printing is? Right? They can 3D print your shoulder, your knee, your kidney, all kinds of things. Make it so when they replace it, if it needs to be replaced, it actually is similar to when you did that they pulled out. So it's some very neat innovation the VA is doing. So it's not all bad. Not all bad. I won't believe that it would be it.
Anytime I got the kidney already, I'll take one.
Yep. Any questions from me?
I don't.
Any questions from me? And I'm sorry if I pontificated a little too long. I get passionate about A, losing, and B, I don't want to see you guys lose money because we didn't do something we should have done. Right? But other than that, again, Keith, I appreciate everything you do. I've enjoyed working with you.
I have to.
Bravo Zulu. Jim, you're a hell of a guy.
Okay, thank you, Dwayne. Okay, any other department speakers? Okay, I will go ahead and introduce Kim K. McCarty Martin. She's a candidate for vice commander this year. Please welcome Kim K.
Good afternoon. Well, morning still.
Yeah.
My name is Kim K. McCarty Martin. I am running for Department Vice Commander. I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. I am a 24-year member of the American Legion, with 14 of it, the last 14 being active with American Legion Post 341 and Maelstrom Post in Great Falls. I have in the past been the post finance officer, the post chaplain, and for 3 years I was the post commander. For 4 years, I'm sorry, for 4 years I was the District 8 commander, and for 2 years I was the North Central Zone commander. I have also been on the department membership committee and the department oratory committee. Currently, I am the post 341 finance, no. Shoot, 341 adjutant, that like I forgot how I'm doing my job. But anyway, for the adjutant for quite a lot of years. And I'm the District 8 finance officer, and I'm currently the department temporary financial assistant investigator. So I have done a few things in the past and in the present. I love being an American Legion member. I love being able to give back to my community just like you do. I like being able to help veterans and their families, and I like the camaraderie that there is among us veterans. When I decided to be an American Legion a member, I thought, how can I give back to my community? Well, now that I'm running for department vice commander, I want to know what can I do to help the Department of Montana. So I came up with 2 goals in that perspective. The first goal is to come up with a 5-year membership strategic plan. It's a database plan for membership. The other one is to revitalize posts that are struggling. Now, due to COVID, we haven't been doing revitalizations in the last couple of years and other constraints that we've had. And I would like to be able to revitalize an area or a post, one in every district within the department. So we have 11 districts, there would be 11 revitalizations. I know some of the posts are struggling and it's not always in the same area. I was able to participate in a revitalization that was done by Michelle Steinman from National. She came and did District 8's revitalization because we needed membership to make goal. I took that knowledge that she had and I went ahead and revitalized post 341. We needed membership to make goal, but not all posts are the same. So we found out that Fort Benton needed officers. So I organized a revitalization, and with the help from Commander Long and Vice Commander Simon, we went to Fort Benton, was able to revitalize them, and we left with every officer in place. So they were back up and running. Then we went over to Browning and we tried to revitalize Browning because they were a posted name within the department and we wanted them to be active in their community. So we were able to get them up and running, and unfortunately things have slipped a little bit. One of the main objectives, as I was saying, is of the American Legion Department Vice Commander is membership. And with membership, I will travel anywhere I need to within the Department of Montana. I will come to Sweetgrass, I will go to Glasgow, I will go to Dillon. It doesn't have to be a big city. I will travel wherever I need to go to help you out and with whatever struggles you have within your post. And with that, I want to thank you very much, and please vote for me in Glasgow in June. Thank you.
Thank you. And you want to do yours during lunch, or do you want to?
I just wanted, can I speak for a minute to
Sure.
talk about Ken Simon?
Okay, please welcome our department commander, Mr. Lowell Long.
I'm just coming up, I want to speak on behalf of Vice Commander Ken Simon. He is running for the position of commander for this next year. He has been doing some awesome things within the American Legion. Over the course of the last few years with stuff that he has been doing. It's running on a platform of Team Montana. Trying to bring everybody together, working together as a team. He's going to build on a lot of the things that we have been working on moving forward. He will do an excellent job for us as our commander. So I encourage you, when you come to convention, to please consider voting for Ken Simon for department commander for this next year. Thank you, Commander.
Thank you.
Commander?
Yes, sir. Mr. Ray Reed, historian.
Last year, I decided that I was going to stop being a historian, but I'm going to do it for one more year. And there's a couple reasons for that. We are out of the third floor of the Veterans and Pioneers building. We're hoping that we can get back in there, and so I want to help fight that battle to get us back in, because right now we've lost our area. And we've been hearing some rumors now that they've already broken that area up into other things. So that's important. Also, I want to train my replacement, so I'm looking for my replacement. So if you know anybody that's wants to do the department historian, I will train them for a year or two of what I know. And finally, because we have post 36 here, who can tell me who Emmett Ryan was?
I can tell you. We had that whole presentation last year. And you missed it, but we did spotlight him. He was the founder of who our post is named after. He was a World War I veteran. And he
So
was
here's what it says out of the Valerian. November 11th, 1918 at 11 a.m. signaled the moment of ceasefire. That was the news that triggered the wildest of celebrations. However, when the word reached us about 3 p.m. that Emmett Ryan, a former D Company sergeant, was killed by enemy fire shortly before 11 a.m. Armistice Day, it put a damper on those who knew him. I think he was probably one, if not the last person killed in World War I from the United States.
Yeah, if you're interested, Ray, I'll email you. Just a second, Ray. If you're interested, I'll email you a couple articles. It was really interesting. I did about 15 or 30 minutes on it last year, and they're newspaper articles and they're personal letters.
Yes. So, well, we're trying to collect all that information, but I just thought that was sort of interesting. A lot of people see the name on a American Legion post and they don't really know what that American Legion post name is all about. Might know that. Here's somebody that's taken the time to digest that. So thank you very much. And I thank this gentleman back here who's been digging up all this information for me. So thank you. Yes.
I want to say, I forgot one thing, but Ray reminded me of something. The end of the month, what did we do a few weeks ago? Maybe a week and a half. We need the Vietnam veterans. Yeah. Reed put all that together, was at the Capitol. They did a march, or a walk, whatever you want to call it. We call it. I don't know if you were, he might have been Beach Center. We did have a gate guy, very good, so on. But I just want to say, thank you, Ray, for putting that on. That means a lot to a lot of people. I know you put in a lot of time and effort to do that, but I wanted to say thank you for that. The other thing we got going on, I forgot to mention, on Monday afternoon at 3 o'clock, anybody heard of Anabicus? Ray, tell them what Anabicus is.
Well,
That's why you're there.
American Canadian veterans put
No.
together. They put together a
Army,
association.
Navy, Air Force, veterans in Canada, US.
Have one of the famous scholarship winners
They're talking out of your area.
identify here is Harrington, who was the chaplain for the Veterans Prayer that the commander asked for D-Day, or I mean for Battle of the Bulge. Pat asked him to write a prayer. So that's that famous prayer you see in D-Day, June 6th, or whatever that was, or the Battle of the Bulge, they have it sometimes.
You see, in movies, that's the actual prayer that he wrote.
That's right. And so he was recognized because he was our state chaplain. And he was also he worked for the Diocese of Helena. They gave him a scholarship under his name, and that's awarded each year. Now you can tell what that's.
Yeah, so that award, the Anna Vickas Award, or I'm sorry, the Father Frank Harrington Award, goes to a Carroll College nursing student. And we are presenting that at 3:00 on Monday afternoon to Cameron, and I can't remember last name, but
Campbell, I think.
yeah, something. That'll be in the paper, but I just want to let you know that that is happening as part of the event. If you go to national convention, eventually I'm going to convince you to join Anna Vickas, what color hat? It's purple. It's a purple hat instead of a blue one, but I wanted to, because Jim is a member of Anna Vickas, I wanted to make sure that we mentioned that. That is happening at 3:00 on Monday at Carroll College. So just thought I'd throw that out there. Thank you, Commander, for the time.
Thank you, Dwayne. I think we're gonna look at taking a break. Lunch is scheduled at noon. I'll visit with Peggy on that and maybe even a little bit earlier. So depending on time, at least 15-minute break. So colors in place, please stand. And salute. 2. So we'll stand in recess.
Well, I guess I'll shut this thing down now.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for attending, Jim.
Okay, and I'll pass this along to members of my post and see if they would want to see it or not. But anyway, it was good to be here, even though I couldn't be here in person.
Yeah.
Like I say, I've been coming down here for 20 some odd years, 27 years, I think.
Okay, so well, thanks a lot, Jim, and I'll you get well soon.
Okay, and we'll see you at the convention.
Okay, you bet. Okay, do they collecting these here or do we mail them? You mail them in, the survey. Yeah, and they do have that.